Let's make sure we protect each other's mental space. If you ever need me, just call. I'ma come running, give it my all. Love is love, God wins. Keep your vibrations high and watch how your blessings.
And rising, namaste, I say, salutation, shalom, peace. Before we get into anything, let's just play some music until the room builds up. And since the topic of today is fuckery, the best thing to play would be this song.
This one's for no nuts. The fraud, the faker, the coward. Let's go. No nuts, you a threat, that's a comedy skit. Act hard in person, but you never commit. Sniffing that powder, trying to boost your flame, but your brain glitching, lost in the game. Push it out for me, that line is old. Fake flexing diamonds, but your jewelry's cold. Mean for no reason with a grin full of spite, but you fold when it's real, never stand in the light. Low budget actor, can't land a part. Wig on crooked, no soul in your art. Fake tough, fake deep, fake views you chase. You a walking L with powder on your face. No nuts got charges, he wildin' again. Fake lawyer talking, but can't even pretend. Picked on a queen, cause she cut off the cash. Now he crying in DMs looking real trash. Push it out for me, nah, push that plea. You a fraud with a script, no law degree. Big threats, no spine, just powder and cap. You a whole case file in a diss rap track. Your bluff too soft. Google law head, fake docs in hand. Can't spell your name, but wanna take a stand. Crying to fans, begging for bills, but threaten women got zero chill. Acting like you run the scene, but shiver when it's heat like a dope fiend. Trying to flex woke, say you the one, but you dark in the heart and dumb in the sun. Wig stay on, blue coat for days. Say you chosen, boy you lost in a haze. Ain't it lighting, just snow in your dome. Got a YouTube glow, but no real home. Loud on the net, but your soul stay fake. Talk peace, live hate, you a walking mistake. Push it out for me, now push that fraud. You recycled your look and you front like a god.
Looks like we might have another album coming out. We might have to put some more songs together, Atlas family. You know, we might be putting a Big 3 album together.
Creator see you and they duck quick. You a mimic, a menace, a habitual trick. Being no women, bro, you sick. Squatting in homes, pulling leeching tricks. HIV housing still acting elite, but you ain't paid rent, just lying in the street. Racist clown, hating your kind. Black man bashing black women online. You harass, you threaten, you live for the shame. But karma don't miss and it's calling your name.
I said what I said, better clock it. Headstone heavy on the topic, clock it. No edit, no debit, deposit, clock it. 10 toes down, 10-fold, no swap, clock it. I said what I said, better clock it. Barcode stamped on the docket, clock it. Raw tone set in the socket, clock it. When I lock in, whole room gon' clock it. Stand on the statement, planted and blatant. Granite and stainless, panic, contagious, demanding the payment, handed to greatness. Candid and dangerous, branding's outrageous. Clock face, cadence, secondhand tension, pressure compressing the lessons. I'm flexing, weaponized rhetoric, definite presence. Stepping on skeptics, I set the direction, say less. I press lines, measured and meant, descended and cemented, sentence relentless. Entered the session, bent it and blended, mended the metric, rendered it endless. No backspin tactics, no cap and captions. Fact check traction, exact with action. Stack that passion, black belt rapping, snap track cracking, this impact lasting. I said what I said, better clock it. Headstone heavy on the topic, clock it. No edit, no debit, deposit, clock it. 10 toes down, 10-fold, no swap, clock it. I said what I said, better clock it. Barcode stamped on the docket, clock it. Raw tone set in the socket, clock it. When I lock in.
It's the weekend, people. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. You know what Jag say? It's the Sabbath. It's the Sabbath. You know? Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Right? You know, a lot of things get conjured around this time. You know, people can conjure all types of stuff around this time. You know, it's the time for conjuring. Um, man, like trying to keep up with the madness and stay out of it. Look, someone said something on their page and it kind of woke us up. It kind of woke us up, right? Sometimes you don't choose what sector they put you in, right? Sometimes the sector chooses you, right? Now, I'm not saying, you know, whether or not this is a great sector or whatever. We never even asked to be in this sector, but somehow we are in this so-called black tea sector. So we approach everything. You know, yeah, my parents told me the same thing your parents told you. If you gonna do something, be the best at it, right? My parents told me, I don't care what you do, but if you're gonna do it, be the best at it, right? And they put us in this sector thinking that we was gonna drown, thinking that we was gonna make it. And guess what? They are mad that the pages that they counted out is making it. They are upset that the people that they wanted to use and abuse for content is still sticking around and still riding out whatever storm they bring our way. Right? So they sit there and they try to bring up the numbers and make it seem like you're the clout chaser because your numbers are lesser than their numbers. And they need, you know, you need them for content and you have to bring them up for content and so on and so forth. But if you really Geico that shit and take a closer look, you'll find out that it's them that's running out of content, right? Think about it. You can only be on here for so many years before your content gets old, right? Especially when you're repeating the same content over and over again, right? It's not like they can go a whole nother 5 years just talking about Jaguar, right? It's not none of the people in this sector can go a whole nother year talking about Jaguar because Jaguar's content is dwindling, right? It's not like she's a big name or somebody to be heard or heard from, right? So they have to create other scenarios for storylines to keep their content hot. It's like, even though Sean Davy Wade does content on Krishan Rock, right? Where do he go to take his breaks from content when he's not talking about Krishan Rock? That's where the black tea sector comes in, right? Whenever I don't have a topic to talk about, I'll, you know, participate in the Hunger Games or the black tea sector, right? So that's where you see this repeated notion from, where they keep on including themselves in different variations of drama, make it seem like you invited them. And then if you speak against them speaking on you, then you're the one that's chasing the content or chasing clout, right? And then if you speak on them getting in the mix, they'll make it seem like they had an invitation or you invited them in or you came to them, so on and so forth, right? So we're watching this repeated pattern. And I don't know if anybody see it. I don't know if anybody's pointing it out. I don't know if anybody saying anything, right? So I'm browsing around, looking up different stuff, and come across some different variations of stories where people are speaking their truths. And now I come to the realization, like, why certain people like Sean Davy Wade don't want, you know, certain things getting out, right? Because this will spark a wave of other people, right? This will spark a wave of other people who had problems with this content creator, who they probably smothered out, who they probably pushed out, who they probably, did so much content about, they figured like it's not even can't even do nothing. So fuck it, we're gonna leave it alone, right? So when you see people standing up to these bullies or these, characters on here that think they're bullies, act like bullies, right? When you see people standing up to them, it empowers, it empowers other people who they have done wrong, right? So that's what they're trying to prevent right now. That's what they're trying to prevent. They're trying to prevent the wave of people that is going to come out, right, to speak against DaWise. Because it probably goes, pretty far. The list probably goes pretty far. How they are, doing things or whatever the case may be, that list probably goes pretty far, right? The bullshit that they put themselves into, over the years, they probably have, manipulated a multitude of people, right? So that would be the problem, is creating a space where that multitude of people that they have done wrong feel safe or can speak out, right? That's what this is all about, right? This is more so about tearing down the spaces that's speaking against the shit that they're doing so they can continue to do the shit that they're doing, right? That's the only way they can get away with it, is if no one's saying nothing about it, right? If no one's pointing out their fuckery, if no one's holding them accountable, if no one's saying anything about the stuff that they're doing, right? That makes it okay, because if nobody's saying nothing about it, then that makes it okay, right? That makes it okay that they, we can get away with it. No, if you ain't experiencing it in life, then it doesn't matter who I'm talking about, right? If you're experiencing this in life where you're running across narcissistic or sociopathic people, especially as content creators on YouTube, then you might need to worry about, who it is that I'm talking about. You don't even need to ask who it is that I'm talking about, because you probably already ran across them if you are a content creator, especially in this so-called Black tea sector, right? So really, like, if it don't apply, just let it fly. Because we know that the idea of this is basically trolls. Trolls are going to troll, right? They want you to put a name on it so they can try to establish who it is that you're talking about, so they can go back and tell that person that you're talking about them, so you can basically be in a whole nother beef of bullshit, right? But right now, we are talking about the Sean DaWise situation and the Lady T situation over on Maggie's panel, since we frequently go to Maggie's panel, right? And the narrative that they're trying to spin, it's never really been about the situation, right? We're looking at it and we're thinking that it's about the situation at hand, the computer, the playing with the emotions, so on and so forth. No, this has always been one of those narratives to isolate, but they're not just trying to isolate one person. You might think Lady T is the target. Lady T might be the primary target at this moment, right? But the real target has always been to break up whatever band or group of people that Maggie is building over there and with her Owl family, right? So they see that Maggie is building a page that people are frequently going to, and so on and so forth, right? And it seems like all of the people that dislike them is gravitating towards these pages, so on and so forth, right? So they are attacking the page and the supporters and the friends of people that are close to content creators that they don't like, right? So because Lady T has put herself close to Maggie, and the attack is to push everybody away from Maggie, right? It would be the same thing like if me and Maggie started, doing panels together, or, being seen on panels together, right? They will send their different groups of people who they think I favor, right? So they'll send a bigger content creator over to see if that content creator be like, yo, listen, I want you to come over to my panel, so on and so forth, right? They're only opening up the panel to you because they want you to stay off the panel that you previously was on, right? Or wherever they seen you at, right? It's just like Sherelle and them did over here when the Knot and them came over, and so on and so forth, right? It's just, it's those things, right? They try to dangle a better visual in front of you, right? Like, oh, you over there on Maggie's page and she only got excess amount of followers, but I'm inviting you to my page and I got, so many more followers, right? So they put that out there like a carrot in front of a horse or something. They'll show you that like a carrot in front of the horse. Hey, you want to come over here to my page, right? The same thing. You'll see it, right? That's why, when we first came back over here and we was on Maggie's page, you see Jaguar come out, but then you see Wolf Coochie come out. Oh, I'm about to go live right now. You come over there. Bring yourself over there, right? Because they want you to come travel to their page so they can build the content on their page, so they can build whatever on their page, right? And they'll have control over whatever video that might come out from it, right? That's one thing. So these characters, they kind of know like their loops around the madness, right? They know their loops around. They know their loops around. And that's the catch-22. That's the catch-22. That's the bullshit. That's the, the rubbish, if you would say. That's the rubbish, if you would say. So no matter how you look at this, no matter how you spin it, no matter how you turn it, you saying like, what if Lady T is trouble? Like, listen, I want y'all to understand, like, this is not about Lady T, right? It kind of is, the subject matter is pertaining to her, but I'm talking about the energies, right? The entities, right? It's not about Lady T, because when you are a respectful person in this world, you don't try to dangle in that disrespect era too long, right? So this is not really about Lady T. This is about repeated patterns, right? When you're looking at these content creators, the reason why they do what they do is because they're not respectable people. And I'm not saying that people don't give them respect. I'm saying they don't respect other people, except for the people that they choose to respect or choose to give. Like, it's like somebody saying like, okay, I see you, right? I see your truth, right? But I'm not going to respect your truth. I'm going to deny you of your own truth, right? I'm going to deny you of your own space. I'm going to deny you of your own. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm talking about, right? They are trying to rewrite other people's lives, right? A lot of people might make it seem like they just heard of Lady T, right? But Lady T has been around for a minute, going back to Ronnie Doe, going back to the Christian rock sector. At one point she was considered to be a sugar mama for Ronnie Doe. Yeah, I mean, I'm just using those terms, loosely, right? Could have been more, whatever, but that was the situation, back in 2024 when I first came across Lady T. You go back to December 2024 when I was on the Knots panel. Ronnie Doe came over there to speak. We was asking Ronnie Doe questions, and then Lady T came up because she was somebody that was messing with Ronnie Doe. So that's where that comes from, right? It has nothing to do, like, and this is why I say, like, a lot of people don't know the history of this, but like, for the people that's been around for a minute, like I've been around for a minute, you know what I mean? Like, at least whatever, however long y'all want to say. Like, no, I ain't been around for the 5 years, whatever, but in the year and a half that we've been around, we have heard and seen a bunch, right? We have heard and seen a bunch, right? So like, the people who knows the truth of everything that took place, they'll attack us more because we know the history of the fuckery, right? And anybody that knows the history of the fuckery is like, why do you think they attacked Maggie's page, right? The first page, right? It's because they needed to take that page down to rewrite all the history that was on her page. Remember, it was a lot of history on her page, from Jaguar admitting her connections with, big homie Cece, to Jaguar admitting, her connections with Ronnie Bo, to Jaguar, admitting, getting that passport, trying to get out of the country, the fake, nonprofit organizations, the 501c thing that she was doing with the other lady. I forget her name at the time, it slipped my mind, right? So there was a lot of evidence on that page of the history, right? So the idea would be to get rid of that page, right? So then they can rewrite the history of all the fuckery that took place in the last year and a half, right? So like a lot of that stuff was on her page. And then you notice like all the stuff that was on, uh um Atwood's page disappeared too. Atwood deleted all of that stuff off of his page too. You get what I'm saying? The whole Beverly thing got deleted. The whole Ronnie Bo, the December missing of Ronnie Bo, whatever they did, the 24-hour lives that they did about Ronnie Bo, all of that stuff disappeared. You know what I'm saying? All of that content disappeared because that way they can rewrite the history of this shit, right? And then later on, they'll bring these characters back out and act as if they're new people, right? Later on, you'll see Ronnie Bo pop back up on Jaguar's panel, and Jaguar be, doing the interview as if she, Ronnie Bo, like this. So this is what they do. They just, you know what I'm saying? They just keep rewriting the shit that's already happened. That's why you could see the patterns play out, how they playing out. It's like the first time it was just too good. You know what I mean? Like the first time they manipulated somebody's life and played in somebody's life and sent them around the ringer, right? Because you can see everybody's going around the ringer, right? It'll be from like now it's like Sean Davey, OKP, and then Danny Robinson, right? So this is how they smother the sector. This is how they smother the sector. The only way we can actually do something is flood the sector with more people. Flood the sector with more people. I'm gonna start bringing people over here from TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna flood the sector with new people from over on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because I realize that what they want to do is they think that by them having numbers, they're winning, right? Imagine you being a page that's not even monetized and you just going live to get on and talk your shit from time to time. And then imagine, 3 big content creator pages coming against you, right? They will push you right out. Why? Because they have trolls. They have people who will troll for them. They have people who hear who they talking about, and then they'll go over and wait for you to go live so they can say that they had an interaction with you. So they can post it in their little Discords or post it in their little, fan favorite rooms or whatever, right? This is the bullshit that goes on. So they try to hurry up and push out any collective that's growing, right? If you have a collective that's growing, they're going to try to hurry up and smother your collective out so they can still look like the big bad wolf, right? They see you building something, they see you growing in your own light or whatever the case may be. They'll come try to put a stain on it, come try to, harm, like they'll attach themselves to your energy, but then they'll try to put a stain on your name, your energy, your image, your likeness, whatever the case may be, right? Because they want to tarnish your growth over here on YouTube, right? They want to tarnish your growth, right? So I say we should just flood this thing with as many people as possible. We should join together in a group, right? And we should flood it with as many numbers as possible, especially to some of the pages that they don't like. Why? Because they don't like to see those pages grow, right? The best way to hurt them is to help pages grow that they don't want to grow. right? The best way to hurt them is to give voices back to people that they don't want to have voices. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the best way to hurt them, is to give the voices back to the people that they don't want to have voices. Create spaces of opportunity for people to speak. Hell, come up and speak against me as long as your voice is being heard, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about empowering other people to stand or be in their truth. We shouldn't have to live in their lies, in their delusional world, in their made up world where they feel like they are the end all be all, do as they will. Like, no, you are denying someone else's feelings and emotions as you want people to sit there and have sympathy for your feelings and emotions. Fuck your feelings and emotions. If you ain't giving nobody else recognition for their feelings and emotions, then we should say fuck your feelings and emotions. If you ain't allowing someone else to get their point across and be heard and understood, then why should we understand you? Now, these people are going to come with a lot of different, scenarios of why their side is right and the other side is wrong. But I guarantee you one thing they will not do, right? They will not acknowledge that they played a part in that wrong, right? If Lady T was such a fucked up person, why'd they get involved with her in the first place? Why'd they have a messy Monday where they invited her on the panel and kicked it with her like they was all cool? Oh, I'm so glad you came over here, right? Accepting all of the memberships that she was given, so on and so forth. But then when the fallout happened, try to deny her of all of that generosity or whatever you want to call it, right? Because she, Sean Davy Way and OKP both, got a certain amount of coin, from her and was happy with her and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as she said, "Hey, I'm a person too, guys. Hey, I'm not just the fuck. I'm real. Hey, I'm real. I got feelings and emotions. I got fucking hormones that's up and down. I go through shit in life. I'm a real person." You deny them from being a real person, right? And then you got this. You'll see this. They'll do it to numerous of their followers. They'll do it to a numerous of their followers, right? Now we might have fell out with some of our followers. We might have fell out, right, when the manipulation games was happening. We didn't really understand how how it happens, right? We didn't really understand how it plays, right? But we took a notion of understanding, right? We took accountability. We tried to apologize those that was accepting of apologies, right? And we tried to move forward. We tried to push past that, right? But in reality of this, there's a lot of games that's being played on YouTube. You don't think these games is being played. It's the same thing I had to go through on TikTok once I got over there, right? When I got over there, I seen like, oh shit, these are games that's being played over here, right? People were going to Bigo, getting a bunch of people from Bigo coming over to TikTok, so on and so forth, right? So they was applying themselves because they was finding other people that subscribed to the bullshit that they were putting out, and then they pulled those other people to the platform that they were on in order to, push other people out the space. It's the same thing that's going on over here, right? You know what I'm saying? They did it to a couple of people. They did it to a bunch of people. Even when we had the Discord and they started, getting in touch with people, like it was the same thing. But what could we do? Some people made it, some people didn't. Like, when Lady Letitia made her rounds, she kind of made it, you know. When Amber made her rounds, she made it as far as, however, long far they wanted her to make it. Like everybody that they have done this to, they come in and make it seem like they're advocating for somebody or standing up for somebody, And then as soon as that turns around and they done made the maximum amount they're going to make for advocating, they turn around and then attack the person that they're advocating for. You know what I mean? Yeah, Amber. I think they turned out good with Amber though. I think Amber's one of OKP's mods right now. I think OKP might call Amber from time to time and check on Amber from time to time. I think I think she's one of OKP mods right now. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I thought I heard her over there just the other week, like I want to say 2 weeks ago or something. I think I heard her on a panel. I'm not sure because after all the bullshit, none of these people really stayed in contact with me. That's what made me realize, like, oh, this shit's a game. Like, all this shit's a game. Like, all the people that we stood up for back then, you know, all the people that we, spoke up for and gave them their voice back or whatever we was doing, right? All of those people, seem to be either in Danny Robinson chat or seems to be a mod or something for one of the other content creators. So I don't know if they just if their followers or mods just come follow pages and become mods on pages so they can create content and then take it back to them for them to have. I don't know. There's no real tell of how they're going about creating these fuck scenarios to build the content. You know what I mean? Yeah, like Jaguar Wright, she always says she's got people that does her dirty work. People that's in and out of discourse to get the message to who she want to get the message to. The same thing with them, they have their, hand in, whatever. I don't even know if they get paid for it. I think some people just do it because they like the drama. Like, imagine actually, imagine like our grandparents having the ability to interact with their soap operas that they used to watch. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if your grandparents could have told all my children not to have so many. Imagine if your grandparents could have told God and Light not to be so bright. Imagine if your grandparents could have told as the days turn to just stop the stand. Imagine if they had control over their modern day soap operas. Nah, back then you didn't have this much control over soap operas. You know what I'm saying? So now that we see this new reality of soap operas where the control is in the hands of the person watching it, right? Because through whatever level of motivation of cash apps or whatever level of motivation of PayPal's or whatever they're getting, they're they don't have integrity. They're controlled by their followers, right? You see Sean Davy Way, as soon as the ladies or people in his Discord was disturbed or whatever, and they started throwing, rocks, fighting and stuff like that, talking about pulling up and all of that stuff. He has to look at that. These are his supporters, you know what I'm saying? So he has to look at that and say, oh shit, so for the sake of my supporters, fuck her. I ain't dealing with her. So on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. Right? That's based off of not wanting that money. It's different when you on here and you doing this and you know what I'm saying, you're still benefiting from it, but it's not as much. It don't mean as much to you. You know what I'm saying? It for them, this is their survival tactic. This is their means of survival. There's no way that Sean Davyway been on here for this long, right? And he didn't invest back into himself, right? There's no way Sean Davyway been on this platform for this long and didn't invest back into himself, his brand, or whatever, right? There's no way he just 2 phone shorty and still operating off of 2 phones and he ain't get a MacBook yet, And all these years that he been on here, thousands of dollars done passed through his hands and he ain't get a MacBook yet. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. You should have had a decked out room, a MacBook, a soundproof fucking theater, whatever. You know what I mean? So now you got to think, like, what is you putting your funds back into that you ain't investing in yourself, and you're the brand, right? You're the brand and you ain't investing in yourself all these years. That's why ignorance is bliss. That's why ignorance is bliss. He don't want to take the time to learn how to operate a PC. He don't want to take the time to learn how to deal with the PC. He wants something that he's used to or already knows. You know what I mean? But that too, he's spending it elsewhere. So what accommodations do you have in life that you don't invest back into the brand that you're building that brings in the funds, right? He should have been learning clips, tips, and more tricks. You know what I'm saying? You know, he should have been on here learning tips, tricks, and more things, right? But this is how you know that these people are not doing the work themselves. Somebody else is setting this up for him. Somebody else is setting this up and then telling him what button to press. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else is giving him these clips and he's just saving them in there. And then when he go live, it automatically plays. Or, you know, think about it. These people don't even know how to work the equipment, you know, that's in front of them. Like, why don't they have a PC already? Right? You're online business. You're supposed to have a high-powered PC so it can hold the number of people that's coming into your space. You're supposed to have the best fucking internet in your area, right? Best service, everything, right? Because this is your brand, this is your image. You want to make sure this don't go down. You want to have Starlink on standby just in case your Comcast fuck up or whatever service that you with. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, in a sense, I don't know if people really think like that. I don't know if people really, you know, think like that. Hold on real quick.
Duke, then the shit. Duke, then the shit. Duke, then the shit. Duke, then the shit. No benefit. Fucking with a real one, yeah, you should quit. If a nigga run his mouth, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Run up in the nigga house, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Better choose a different route, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Duke, then the shit. If a nigga run his mouth, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Run up in the nigga house, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Better choose a different route, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Duke, then the shit. Better know I'm pulling up, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Sledging up and fueling up, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Nigga can't square it up, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. The whole crew gon' tear it up, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Nigga don't clear your throat, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Fucking with the...
My fault. I had a phone call. Nah, get back into it. Get your ass back into making content. Everybody makes some content. I don't give a fuck what it is. If you play with Legos, send me let me know in the Discord or something what your page is. I'll come watch you play with Legos. If you a new page and you growing, I'll come watch you just because I don't give a fuck. I want to see as many new pages out there as possible. If you just talking about rocks, I want to come listen to you talk about rocks. I don't give a fuck what it is that you doing. I want to come participate with you with whatever it is that you doing. I want to see you grow. I want to see some new faces, new people over here in this sector that ain't trying to keep up with the same bullshit or rhetoric that they doing, right? I want to see some new creative shit going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you compose this bullshit into a coloring book, a flash book, whatever it is that you're doing. You know, if you cook and you make food. Set that motherfucker up in the kitchen and we'll come and bake and talk with you. You know what I'm saying? We come, you know what I'm saying, join the panel and just talk while you cook. Something different. And not no cooking like Jaguar Right, where you just put the motherfucking bonnet on and you make the same egg and biscuit fucking sausage sandwich every morning for 5 mornings in a row and ain't telling us the seasonings or ingredients is that you putting in the motherfucking dish. Not that type of cooking, right? Not that. Have like a decent kitchen, some background effect shit that we can talk about, not a refrigerator with a bunch of dents in it, right? You know, and if you live in a fucked up house, then just find that one good wall. You know what I'm saying? Find that one good wall and set the camera up on that one good wall and just show us that one good wall. You know what I'm saying? I know, but see, that's the thing about this whole controversy, right? Like, you have to be willing to go through the scrutiny of whatever because everybody's entitled to opinions, and their opinions are like assholes. And apparently, some of the biggest assholes have the biggest platforms over here on YouTube, right? So, if the biggest assholes have the biggest platforms, what are we going to see? That's the bigger the you know what I'm saying, opinion. You know what I'm saying? The bigger the asshole, the bigger the opinion, right? So they're going to be highly opinionated on lower content creators. Why? Because in their mind, you taking up numbers that they can have, you taking up supporters that they can have, right? So even when they see certain people in your comment section that they feel like they should be, you over here popping it with them, and you should be over there supporting and giving your attention to whatever the fuck I'm doing, right? So of course you're gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? They not realizing, you know what? It's a billion, nine, almost 10 billion people on this planet. You know what I'm saying? It's enough for everybody. That's not the mindset that they come with. Do you get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They not coming with the same mindset that we come with. Even their supporters don't have the same mindset as the content creators, right? They might, you know, like these content creators because in some way they feel like the content creators are bold. Like, man, you're bold. I like that. I like that you just say what the fuck, whatever, right? So that's why, you know, some of them follow. Some of them follow for the entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this shit is just entertaining to me. I just follow for that, so on and so forth, right? So it's different reasons why they got the support that they got, right? But in retrospect, it's the same shit. Some people watch them to talk shit. They just block all the people in the comment section that's talking shit. So people just be like, you know what? I ain't even gonna say nothing no more. Fuck it. You know what I mean? But that's the same thing with you. Get through it. Get through it. You tough. It's going to build your page even better, especially when your page is going through scrutiny and you push through it. It's not only going to empower you and grow and strengthen you, right? But it's also going to show people that, you know what I'm saying, that they can't stop the motion of what it is that you're doing, right? Yeah, you might lose some numbers, but they really wasn't numbers anyway if you lost them, right? If they willing to run with the first narrative story that's put out there about you without checking with you, if they willing to go straight, it mean they already had that in their mind anyway. They was just waiting for something to happen so they can say, I knew it was a reason why I didn't really commit to supporting you. You know what I'm saying? They already have that notion in their mind and they're just waiting for something to happen or waiting for something so they can be like, I knew it. Something was telling me not to fuck with you because they really didn't want to fuck with you, right? So you don't need them as supporters anyway. The people that's going to stick around, right, through it all, that's the people that you really want supporting you. So you're going to have to go through some shit, especially in this world, because this world is full of demons, right? The demons support each other. You can tell. They're even turning on each other right now. Their tables are so empty with energy and they gotta they feeding off each other right now. If you pay attention, they're attacking each other right now. The monsters are attacking the monsters now. Huh? It's something to do. You in your house, you safe, you good. Why not make content? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I didn't know a do-it-yourself project was good until I did it myself. My sister used to be like, "Oh, come on, we're gonna do this, we're gonna make this." And she used to show me these like nice pieces. Like one time she was like, "Come on, we're gonna paint." Right? But it wasn't like paint like you thought. She was like, "No, it's simple. You just take the colors that you want and you smear it on the bottom, and then you smear it on the top, and then you smear it, and you pick 3 colors, and then you might bedazzle it with some glitter." Right? We put them paintings up in her room or in her house. Right? We put the paintings up in her house. Right? Why they start selling paintings that look exactly like our paintings for big money when we were just bullshitting, right? She used to have like do like little flower boxes with mirrors and shit like that. She used to try to have me do like the little table pieces with the marbles in it, you know, where you pour the water in and the clear marbles disappear and whatever items you put in there look like it's in there you know, floating on air or whatever, right? And now things like that is selling big, where people are just making DIY projects and they're selling online. You could do something like that. Whatever your craft is, you might be a great knitter, right? You might be a hell of a knitter. Huh? Huh? You might be a knitting motherfucker. Huh? Is somebody gonna buy that? You might like to paint just for the bullshit. Put it online. Somebody might buy that. Somebody might like it. Your style, your craft, your personality, just to say that they got it from you. You know, that's what's really selling. People have always been the brand and the image. We always had it in us to be great. Individually, collectively, we always had that. You just got to find your craft, and then other people will gather around that and show, and then you'll start meeting other crafty people. Like, damn, okay, you get talent, and then y'all add that together, and then we just a band of misfits that got different talents. That's what I'm trying to build. I'm trying to put together the motherfuckers who can. If they counted you out, you're a part of this collective. Do you hear me? If they counted your ass out at one point and said that you wouldn't be shit, welcome. Welcome. You are part of this family. Do you hear me? If they played on you at one point, now they're going to fuck around and find out. You are great. We are all great. That's what I want to tell. I want to tell everybody they're great. You know? In their own way, you should never, you know what I'm saying? But in a sense, you got to think like, why are these bigger creators not showing that level? Like they can't be in their root chakra the way that some other people are in their root chakra. They've been doing this for too long. They've been getting money online for too long. Maybe they, you know, their lifestyle or way of living is beyond their means of, you know, finances or whatever, but in a sense, like they've been living a better life than a lot of people. Their bills should be paid. They shouldn't be in this, you know, fight or flight, you know, survival mode that other people are in, this thirst mode, right? This chase content or you know, clout, as they say, right? They should be comfortable where they're at enough to where as though they shouldn't be hurting other people. So now you got to ask, what the fuck is the bigger content creators going through in their life or whatever design they got that they still feel the need to hurt other people when we supposed to be the ones that's hurt and need healing. They supposed to be healed and refined and better, but they going around hurting people and then saying that other people is needing the clout. No, motherfuckers, y'all keep on going around fucking with people and hurting people and then making it seem like somebody can't say nothing about it because if you respond or rebuttal it, it's you chasing the clout as opposed to what, you know what I'm saying? When you respond to the bullshit that they do and the fuckery that they do, they gonna say you clout chasing. How? How? Because I'm standing up, because I'm speaking up, because I'm not letting you just run with the fucking shit that you running with. Y'all want to make it seem like this narrative, that narrative. Look at the Lady T situation. They're trying to out her for not, trying to get her to not talk about it, but by saying she's chasing clout and so on and so forth. So then what? She gonna be like, I don't need to talk about y'all for clout. Da 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 da. I've been the shit. Da 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 da. Why? Because they're trying to spark stuff that knows in a way she has to defend ego, right? So by attacking her ego, right, then she has to defend that, right? Which puts her into the mindset of trying not to talk about the situation as opposed to actually fucking talking about it as much as possible. That's why I say we got to old school that shit. We got to fuck around and have a 12-hour live for characters like this to leave you the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? You got to, You got to think outside the box. You know what I mean? You got to think outside the box. Do the shit they don't think you going to do. Like talk about that. Go on Facebook, talk about that shit. Go on Instagram and talk about that shit. Why? So, now you want to take it over to Instagram? Yeah, motherfucker, I'm going to take it to as many places as I need to take it to. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I heard you was on Bigo popping it. Yeah, mother, every chance I get, I'm going to talk about the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they want you to not talk about it. That way they can push the narrative and the story and suppress your truth, your throat chakra. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, I'm tired of people suppressing other people's truth, standing on other people's, you know what I'm saying? And just because you can scream the lie louder in a bigger room doesn't make it true. Just because you got a bigger support system on YouTube and you can scream that lie louder, more people hearing it, that shit still don't make it true. And I know they say so many repetitions brings truth, but you might not like the truth that those repetitions bring. Because sometimes when you trying to force your lie into a collective or a reality, more get exposed. More of your dumb shit, more of your fuckery get exposed. You know? So they gotta create more storylines now. They gotta create and recreate more storylines, you know. Different people's names have been popping up for different shit, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Different people's names been popping up for different shit. It's just, they're gonna do the same thing, right? Like the moment they get wind that I'm talking shit or they feel like I'm talking shit, instead of just them looking at it the same way that other people's looking at it, right? If y'all can do these rebuttals, rebuffals on other people's content, then people can do the same thing on the shit that's going on around y'all, right? It's the same thing. As a content creator in this fucked up sector, I can, speak on anything that I want to speak on, right? Even if the bullshit is the bullshit that you're involved in, right? It's like, oh, this person don't got the right to speak on nothing. That's what y'all do. All y'all do is speak on the shit that y'all ain't got the right to, or you know what I'm saying, whatever to speak on, right? So why, when what's good for the goose is good for the gander, nobody should be hurt by that. Nobody should be upset by that. What's good for the goose should be good for the gander. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. Appreciate the super chat, super sticker. I don't know which one it is. Super chat. Uh, but in the mindset of this, right? They like to look at it and make it seem like they're the untouchables. They're the unspeakables, right? They're the unspeakables. You can't speak about them. No, nobody can speak about them. Nobody can say nothing about them. Right. So like when you actually looking at this, it's funny, it's ironic, it's weird, but at the same time, like shit, you lucky I don't got all the time in the world. I'll make 50 more pages talking about, you know what I'm saying, just to put it out there in the ether, you know, just to put it out there in the ether. You lucky. You lucky somebody kept on reporting duplications, or I would be live on 3 YouTube pages right now talking about this at the same time. Because that's what we was doing before. We'll go live on the Atlas family. The Atlas that would duplicate into 6 pages, to be honest. We go live on 6 pages on YouTube, 2 pages on TikTok, Twitch, just broadcast it everywhere just to put it out there. Like that's why we don't care to beef. All right, don't start no beef. We don't care to step into no beef. Why? Cause we waiting. We waiting for one of you motherfuckers. I promise you. We waiting for one of you motherfuckers. Give us a reason. Get just give me a reason. That's it. We looking for a reason. We will have shit on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. Huh? We don't care. Sometimes we do get bored talking about the moon, stars, and the quasars. Yep. Yep. We get bored. But that don't mean we not ready. That don't mean we not ready. You know? But that's neither here nor there. And we was waiting. We don't step up a lot. We don't try to get involved with the bullshit because we know it's circulatory, but we was waiting. You hear me? We was waiting. Like Rocky and Bullwinkle sitting in the back. We was waiting. Waiting for you motherfuckers to slip up. Waiting. You can say what you want to say, but we been we're gonna do the fuck what we supposed to do like we always do and get the fuck out the mix. We just gonna make sure that somebody got a little bit of support and a little bit of power to speak their truth, right? I don't like the way y'all trying to silence her. That's my problem. You know, I don't like the way y'all trying to break up her and Maggie's friendship. That's my problem. Why y'all can't just let motherfuckers grow in their own favor of each other? Huh? See, the problem is Maggie is impressionable, right? Maggie is very impressionable, right? So when she gets in a group, right, she takes on the attributes and shit of that group. Hmm? So you put her with a motherfucking energy like Lady T, and now you got two of them motherfuckers, right? Because they like, you know what I'm saying, the empathic connection, you know what I mean? So now you're gonna have Maggie going off the scale, welcome to the dark side type shit. They don't want that. They don't want that. That's disturbing to them. They're scared. They are petrified of her owls growing, I like it. I like the because they mischief. They gonna start some shit. Huh? They gonna start some shit. Even if it's momentary and they got it wrong, they gonna start some shit. You know what I'm saying? They gonna start some shit. They gonna speak on some shit. They might apologize for it if they felt like they wrong or not. I'd rather deal with people like that than deal with these, back and forth, wishy-washy characters. You know, it's like I get it. I get what people are gonna say, but people are entitled to their own opinion about anything, right? All of these different situations, scenarios that you see, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The reality of it is who sticks around, who stands strong, who really, you know what I'm saying? You gotta like be within your authentic self. You know what I'm saying? Be within your authentic self. You know, they don't want to give Maggie the credit, but they all like the space that she keep because they all will pop up over there. They all will pop up over there. You know, they just don't like how she's going about it because she's standing in herself. She's not really like, they don't give a fuck whose side is whose side. None of that shit. They want you to choose a side, be on their team, gang, gang, whatever. She don't give a fuck. That's why she started her own shit. That's why she got a group of owls. So as soon as y'all come, who, huh? A place of chaos and confusion. I love it sometimes. You don't know what the fuck you gonna get when you go over there. Sometimes she don't even talk about what the fuck the title is. She'll put a whole thumbnail up. You go over there, it's something completely different. Huh? You don't never know who's gonna pop up. You know what I'm saying? She got that motherfucker like Mr. Rogers over that motherfucker. You just don't know who gonna knock on the door. You know? You know? He just, hello, such and such is in the background. Do you mind if they come up? Like, that's it. Like, you don't know who the fuck. You just be up on the panel, just sitting over there. Hello. You mind if they come up? That shit fun. Y'all don't want to admit that it's fun. That shit like Three's Company, come and knock on my door. Y'all don't know what the fuck might happen over there. That's why people like it. And you go to these other content creators' pages, it's always the same rhetoric. Get this person out of here. Get this person out of here. No. Let's create a motherfucking op day. Let's create an op day where you go unblock all the motherfuckers that you block. Let's do that, Sean Davey. You know what I'm saying? Danny Robinson. How about y'all go back, Jaguar, all of y'all? How about everybody just unblock all the motherfuckers that they block? How about we have an unblock party? Huh? Let's do that. Let's have an unblock party. Where you motherfuckers go and unblock the. And some of y'all probably thinking right now, I can't do that. That's thousands of people. Y'all motherfuckers been on here blocking people since 2015. Hey, you motherfuckers been on here blocking people since 2015. You motherfuckers been blocking people since that long. Let's just have an unblock party. Yeah, they ain't gonna want to do that. That's like skeletons in the closet. That's like letting out all of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Nah. I'm not talking about no selective unblock party. I'm talking about a whole unblock party. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a whole unblock party. Show that your block list is empty. Huh? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, oh, I unblocked a couple of people. No. Show that motherfucker empty. Empty it out. Unblock everybody. Everybody. Huh? Then we see what shit really hitting for. Diesel. It's not Diesel. Diesel. That is not Diesel. Why it look like Diesel? I just spelled that. Might have to run to the what's it called. Yeah, Wiley, unblock everybody. A whole unblocked party. You hear me? Fuck around and really see who's really who. You know what I'm saying? Go unblock everybody that's on your block list. I bet you they won't do that. Let's have an unblock party Sunday. Let's do that. Let's have an unblock party Sunday where you show your block list is completely empty. See who really trying to let the ghosts out. Or people get to come back and speak on everything, you know? Want y'all to think about that for a minute. A lot of these people, all they do is block people. Mods block them, mods block them, mods block them, mods block them. That's all you hear sometimes. Why? Because that's what narcissistic people do. They want to push anybody out that has an opposing opinion of theirs. If you willing to follow the train, that's how these echo chambers are created. That's why a lot of their spaces act as echo chambers. That's why it's do as I, you know what I'm saying? It's do as I say, not do as I do mindset. You know what I mean? First of all, your ass is grown and you shouldn't have a bedtime. Let's start there. Sometimes you stay up later than you want to. But your ass ain't got no bedtime. Ain't no such thing as a grown person having a bedtime. Get your ass up. Next time we staying up till 4 in the morning. Matter of fact, every Friday prepared to stay your ass up. How about that? Yeah. Take you back to your wonder years. Growing pains type shit. Yeah. Take you back when you were 17, trying to see who can stay up till the sun came out. Huh? Break night, break day, whatever you want to call it. Do a live and see who can stay up till the sun come out. Don't worry, we're gonna put together a 6-hour live. We got enough to talk about now. We got like 5 people we can talk about. We could just do a segment and every one of them get 2.5 hours. By the time you look at it, 10 hours done went past. Just pick the day. Just all you got to do is pick the day, and we're going to do a 10-hour live. Open panel, all that shit. Dealing with all the headaches. We're going to get the supplies we need. Yes. It's going to be like a party. Yeah. You gotta slowly sip. You gotta slowly sip on the shit. Slowly sip on the drink so the hours can extend. Slowly sip. Not 5 shots in 10 minutes. Yeah, get out of it. We don't believe in age over here. We don't believe in the aging process over here. Over here, We don't believe in that. So you gotta, you know what I'm saying, that is just, you know, actually in your mind, you're 40 years young until your mind transfers over to your Saturn mind. And then when you transfer over to your Saturn mind, then you're in your adult. But in your Uranus mind, you're 40 years before that transfer, or that what they call a midlife crisis at the 44-year marker. But we don't believe in age over here. That's a man-made construct. Time does not exist. We know it exists through our day-to-day activity or living, but that it's not real. So stop making it seem like age is this. If the right motherfucker come along, your ass will have Megan knees. You hear what I'm saying? The right motherfucker come along, you'll see Maggie out here talking about how Stella got her groove back and how her motherfucking knees feel fine and shit. Be out here playing Cash Money and talking about some drop it like it's hot. Yeah. The right motherfucker come along, you talking about how Maggie got her groove back. I feel like my second win. I feel like I feel 21 all over again. Be over there playing Forever Young, Jay-Z. For real. You better stop it with that age shit. We don't believe in that over here. Y'all over there keep on wanting to bring up age. Like, you waiting, you trying to grow fast? No, motherfucker. At some point, you just got to stop and realize, you know what? I'm as young as I want to be. I'm as young as I feel like it. Sometimes you might feel your age creeping up on you, but you got to push that motherfucker to the side. Deny, deny, deny. Get off of me. That is not my age. Get your ass off me. Get your hands off of me. Huh? I am 25, you know? Somewhere in there. Somewhere in there, you just got to tell your mind, I'm 25 forever. Pick the you that you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Look at some of these other people. They're in their teenage mind forever. They grown as hell, still doing high school shit. You know what I'm saying? They grown as hell, still doing high school shit, still playing the high school games. So you can see that age is just a number, you know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta pick the number that is ideally to you, like being your truth, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to feel 65, fuck it, you 65, no matter if you 25, you know what I'm saying? If your mind is, yeah, if you feel like you are old soul, whatever they call it, you know what I'm saying, then yeah, approach it however you want. But shit, in this day and age, shit, 25 forever. You hear me? In this day and age, shit, 25 forever. What you talking about? Talking about is not staying up. Shit, time doesn't exist. You just if you find a good moment, just stay in that good moment for as long as you can stay in that good moment. You know what I'm saying? Y'all always just hurrying up and rushing the bullshit to come, like rushing for no, fuck that. Fuck that. Shopping sprees and more shit. You know, something like that. Dinner parties and other shit. Something like that, you know. Maybe not quite like that, but fuck that. 25 forever. Ain't gonna never get old. Huh? That's how you got to start thinking. Stop talking about I'm old, I'm old, I'm old. Take the motherfucking moo off. Take the moo off. Nah, Ralph. We can't take the moo off. Don't say fuck the moo. At least be bucket naked up under the moo. All right? Shit. If you ain't gonna take the moo off, at least be bucket naked up under the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Live a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Live a little bit. Let the girls out, as they say. Somebody motherfucker tell Jaguar to take off the black bra. Have a take off the black bra day. Arrest the black bra day. You know what I'm saying? Gotta do something. Got to do something. Got to be starting something. Got to be starting something. Too high in the middle. Too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle. Huh? For real. You gotta live. Y'all be everybody that got a life ain't living. Everybody out here that got a life ain't living. Some of y'all just ain't living. Y'all ain't living. Y'all keep on questioning what other people are doing. At least other people is living. Oh, he out there on a farm. He out there trying to do this, trying to do that. I'm living. Might not be living my best life yet, but I'm living, mother. I'm living. Huh? Might not be my best life, but I'm living. I'm working towards it. I'm working towards the best life or whatever idea I might think the best life is. It might not be your idea of a best life. Your idea of a best life might come with some other shit. Fast cars and some more shit. You know what I'm saying? Mine's come with health, wealth, and longevity. I'm trying to, change the future generations. Fuck what's going on now. What's going on now? Nah, I'm trying to change the future generation. Because once you realize that people are creatures of habits and some people are set in their ways, then you realize everybody ain't gonna make it. But the effect that they having on the future generations, the effect that we having on the future generations, that would be the ideal image to change. Like, yeah, I can admit that I might be set in my ways. We might have been raised in a time of bullshit and fuckery. Therefore, we thrive in bullshit and fuckery. However you want to look at it, right? However you want to look at it, we might, have that time. Damn, Sam from TikTok. Who the hell is this Sam from TikTok? Sam from TikTok is trying to get me to be a part of TikTok shop. Bad as hell. This auto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damn messages. Yeah, like I be looking at this world and I be thinking like, all right, how many people can I get along with today? Right? Some people going out there and trying to figure out how many people that can they fuck over today. You know what I'm saying? So like, nah, we are all not the same. Some people out there waking up trying to figure out how many people can they piss off today. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see how many people can I, get along with? How many people can I make amends with? How many people, some shit we get is not mendable, whatever you want to call it. And then, certain people don't like when the hate is on them, when when they in that spotlight, however you want to call it, But it is what it is. I was gonna play one of these little things, but then I realized like, nah, that might give somebody a chance to strike my page. Because I was looking at, I think that's Trees. She was doing a what you call 'em on Sean Davy Way with the lady Pam. And Pam was talking about how, rental cars was set up and so on and so forth, and how Sean Davy Way had scammed her. This I was gonna do one on this.
With their car, right? Boom, boom, boom. And I had knew that prior going into the situation. I knew that because I've rented a few cars. So anyway, what was really telling to me after the fact that Sean gave me a call one day after me and Miss Vanessa was on OKP's panel, and we had discussed our conversation, the Jag and TJ saga and all of that, right? Well, I get a call from Sean one day telling me he was about to go live because that wasn't Miss Vanessa I spoke to. I spoke with somebody else. And I don't recall who he said it was because I was a bit taken back by it, right? I'm like, what? Why is he trying to say I ain't talked to Miss Vanessa when I know I talked to Miss Vanessa? We did a whole show.
I know I got to get the pattern
That's when
shirt.
the tide started turning for me, guys. I started seeing him for who he was. Now, of course, I never said it.
So yeah, so that was that. I was listening to a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying, to get an idea of this person. So it's been other people in the past, you know, and I seen somebody put RIP Pam, like, you know, so I guess she might be gone. I don't know. But, you know, there's other people in the past that is speaking up and speaking out against these people. You know, they might have silenced them, hushed them as much as possible, but it's there, right? The truth is there. The question is, like, how many people really want the truth? How many people, you know, care for the truth? How many people are seeing the truth, right? Right? So you got, like, you know, you got people like Danny Robertson that might hold, you know, a 5-part series of some of this shit, but then she'll say somebody else is chasing clout, you know, as she hold, you know, a 5-part series. So this was always a storyline for the big three to have something to talk about. This was always something for them to have something to talk about. You see, we cool with talking about moon stars and quasars day in and day out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like we cool, but the concept of them trying to make it seem like other people are chasing this or chasing that when clearly they are the ones who need this storyline so bad, right? They are the ones that need that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But you see this repeated things. Like, you go back throughout the history of it, like, you'll see this repeated thing. You'll see this repeated notion. You'll see this repeated act. You'll see this repeated grip. You know, at this point, you have to recognize patterns. You have to see this as a pattern. You have to be like, is it, you know, ironic that all these people are coming with the same energy, the same entity type personas, right? If you look up the Latin word for person, it's just a mask, right? But all these people wearing the same mask, and that's not ironic. It would have been easier for them to just come on here and say, hey guys, I need a MacBook. Shit, put together a wish list. You know, make a damn wish list. They better get on some ain't too proud to beg shit if they need, you know, PCs, all of that shit. But they'll try to tear somebody else down for accepting the support, or tear somebody else's support system down as they, you know, belittle, ridicule, and, you know, treat their support however they want to treat their support. But then they'll go around and be like, oh, you shouldn't support this person and you shouldn't support that person and blah, 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 blah. Well, it looks like y'all are the ones that shouldn't have support, you know? You know, like then, Danny Robinson, trying to back this whole bullshit instead of being the idea protector that she claims to be. She's some ideal protector. She claims to be a protector. So why not? Why are you not protecting? Why are you not make it make sense? Uh-uh. Not if their business is bullshit. If their business is already bullshit. Right. That's what I'm saying. Why not protect Lady T? If it was the not, Danny Robinson will speak up and be speaking for Lady T at this time, right? But because it's Sean Davy way, you're not speaking up, or like think about it. A year ago, when this situation took place with the knot, or other situations took place with the knot, she was willing to give those people a place to speak. She was willing to speak about the person that did the shit to them, so on and so forth, right? But now Sean Dayway, a person that in her eyes can't do nothing wrong, I guess. Now you got to sit there and host lives where you protect this type of behavior, where you actually show your true colors, that you don't care about people as much as you over there trying to say you care about people, right? Victimizing, or victimization, whatever you want to call it, to see somebody in a situation and then antagonize or further like put the victim in distraught, put the victim in this type of energy without trying to give them a place to speak, trying to close them off from places they can empower themselves in order to speak up against y'all false narratives or whatever, trying to take away or eliminate the spaces that they can occupy, right? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. That's why whatever narrative, whatever storyline they pushing, you sometimes you just gotta overlook it. You know what I'm saying? So go in the places that you are celebrated in. You know what I mean? Take your happiness and your truth to the places that appreciate you. You know what I mean? If a place show that they don't appreciate you, you have the power to leave, not be in that space, not be in that place. Don't give it none of your energy. But these people try to harvest your energy by trapping you in trauma. They'll trap you in the trauma, trap you in the bullshit, and then they'll harvest your energy. You know what I mean? It's like demons know. Like they know who energy is good, who energy tastes good, whatever the case may be. They pass it on to other demonic entities. They tell the other demonic entities, like, hey man, such and such got some great energy over there. You should go get a taste of it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They passing on stories about our energy. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, man, when I was in that energy, it was great. You know? So they telling people, that's why the same pressure is there. That's why the same, you gotta show me that you believe in me more than you believed in the last person, if they know the stories about the last person. You know what I mean? It's like high school shit, you know. Everybody heard Becky give out good head, so everybody trying to go get head from Becky. You get what I'm saying? Weird shit like that. Right? And then now in 2026, they telling you. Well, probably years ago, they probably been telling you. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Now it's evident, like they telling you. Like, yeah, Mark told me about you already. And Becky already know what the fuck she did with Mark. So therefore, if somebody's cut Mark told me about you, then you already know what the fuck Mark done told him. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with this situation. You know? Yeah, such and such told me about you. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. You know? Run across situations like that. That ain't no biggie. The bullshit that we run across on here, you run across that shit all the time. You know? You can go into the gas station and a motherfucker start giving you attitude. Why you think they giving you attitude? Because they looking for a place to transfer some fucked up energy. You know? Yeah, go somewhere, you got good energy, everything good. You might be preoccupied doing something, and somebody just giving you an attitude. You just like, what the fuck is that about? It ain't about you. It ain't got shit to do with you. They just looking for a place that they can transfer that energy. You know what I'm saying? That's all they doing. Looking for a place that they can transfer that energy. And of course, you know, Danny Robinson's going to do her 15-part episodes on this whole situation, right? Why? She's a part of the big tree. You know, she's a part of the. So this is another way to make them relevant in the sector, make it seem like they're number one in the sector. They're the only people in the sector that matters. They're the only people that counts. Well, guess what? Every fucking body counts. We all count. As soon as we realize we all count, we're going to band together and make a bunch of pages where we just supporting each other, the little pages. Fuck it. Huh? Because y'all want to be bigger than everything else. We just going to support all the little pages. Right? And we don't give a fuck if the little pages is duplicating y'all content and talking about the exact same motherfucking thing that y'all talking about. We just going to go over there and watch that shit from over there. Why? Because we tired of telling y'all, or we tired of y'all telling us what we can do, what spaces we can occupy, who panel we can be on, who we can supposed to be around, and all of that weird ass shit. Like if you ain't on, we supposed to be twirling in our damn thumbs somewhere, waiting for you to go live. I can't wait till one of the big three go live. Anybody seen the big three? Anybody know when the big three going live? You opening up the door for y'all to do some type of fucking big reunion. Oh, guess what? Next Monday, the big three are going to be on the same panel together. And then y'all promote that shit for a while. Yup, y'all got it. Y'all wanted it. Y'all got it. The big three is together. We're being seen together. Oh, shit. Everybody look out. The big three is coming out. They are shut up. Shut up. We don't want it. We don't want it. That's not what we signing up for, motherfucker. How about that? How about that? Huh? You put together a big three, we put together a big 10. Fuck it. We'll get 10 small creators and just band together. Fuck it. Huh? Fuck is y'all saying? Y'all all, this is what I'm saying. Like, every time it comes down to this, right, you see that they got to come in legions. Right? Individually, Lady T stands for herself, right? Maggie's her friend, so Maggie backs her up, but Maggie was standing for herself too, right? Because at one point, Lady T was in their circle, right? So Maggie was still standing for herself, and she still allowed her friends to be friends with people that she wasn't friends with. Do you get what I'm saying? She openly accepted Lady T, and Lady T accepted her, right? I'm not saying that like Lady T some just puppy that, but you know, they accepted each other, right? But they also accepted what each other came with, right? They accepted that your friend might not be my friend, but don't stop being friends with that person because of me, because our friendship is cool. right? So the concept of these people telling them that because you cool with us, you can't fuck with this person no more, it tells you that there were their motives the whole time. If somebody become your friend and then they tell you that you can't fuck with somebody no more, then the idea of them was not to become your friend because they was your friend. They wanted to become your friend because they didn't like the relationship that you had with somebody else. They wanted to come between that. They was jealous of that. If you really cared about somebody, you wouldn't give a fuck about whatever friendship they got with somebody else because that shit shouldn't bother you because it's got nothing to do with the friendship that they got with you, especially if they was friends with that person before they even was friends with you. How dare you come into a situation and then try to determine and dictate if that person can fuck with this person or not? You can't, you ain't on that level yet. You gotta wait. Time shows you that shit. You know what I'm saying? People are not our property, absolutely. You know? But that's what I'm saying though. Like these people feel like they, you know what I'm saying, and you know, they feel like they are, you know, you're an extension of them. You belong to them. You these people, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not saying that, you know, lightly. I'm saying it bluntly. You can see that. They don't care. They don't care. How many people have been in the presence of somebody where you felt their emotions in their talk, where you felt, you know, their passion and whatever they were speaking about, right? These characters that you see, even though they are acting empathetic, even though they are acting sympathetic, even though they are acting passionate about whatever, right? These are miserable beings, right? They are miserable beings who, you know, who have learned a craft of acting the character in order to win the crowd and win the favor of the crowd in order to gain sympathy or whatever it is that they trying to gain, right? So you'll see this constant back and forth attack and then hide their hand. You'll see this, I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't say nothing. I didn't, it wasn't me. You'll constantly see that, right? And then when you turn your back, they'll be like, yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Who got a problem with it? I said it. I said it. Soon as you turn around, they like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Plausible deniability. Pop shit and apologize. Right? They mad when other people get over shit. They mad when other people get past shit. They want you to look past, get past, or get over, or whatever they doing to you. But then they don't want to look past, get over whatever they doing to people. Right? They doing shit to people. They don't want to acknowledge it, but they want everybody to act like they're the saints. They're the people that's doing no harm, and they mean good for everybody, and they mean well for no. Luna, that's your opinion. That's your opinion that Maggie don't care. That's your opinion. Right? Right? And really, it's a projection. It's really a projection, really, because you don't care. You know what I mean? You don't really care. You don't care, Luna. You know? That's why in none of the platforms that you go to do you try to say anything nice. Try a whole day of saying nice shit in platforms. Try a whole day, Luna, of going around saying nice stuff in the comment section. Just try it for a whole day. Come back, tell me how it made you feel. Because all you do is go around and say the shit that, you know, however you look at it, you say the shit that you know is not supposed to be said in certain spaces. So you intentionally go in spaces to say the shit that you know is going to piss people off in them spaces. So then you can play the victim. And you do it everywhere you go, damn near. Everywhere you go pop shit. And then soon as somebody check you on the shit that you popped, you play the victim. And why are you attacking me? Y'all gotta cut it out with the patterns of behavior. Change your pattern. You want a different outlook? Change your approach. Stop doing the same shit over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Go in some spaces and try to speak nice about people. Go in some spaces and don't speak at all. Just listen. Try those methods. You know? It ain't making sense. You know, it just not making sense to me. That some of y'all keep repeating this same level of attack and expect some type of understanding from it. I'm never going to understand hate. Okay? I'm never going to understand why you couldn't get past something or let bygones be bygones or whatever. I only act like that towards certain people because I know what energy they come with. I know they're not humble beings, right? When it comes to why I would close the door on the knot is because he's just looking for another way to fuck somebody over in the long run. You know what I'm saying? If you're beneficial for him in that time, then he'll use you, but it's not genuine. Do you get what I'm saying? So I close doors to certain people because I know it's not genuine, but at the same time, I don't care two rats ass about the situation, right? People are humans. We go through human, experience down here, right? But everybody's not going around trying to constantly go in the comment section to say the shit that they know. That's why as soon as you got here, you say, I want to make sure that I can say the stuff that I want to say. You already knew that you was going to say some shit. Whether you waiting for the right time to say it, whether you preparing it, how you going to say it, waiting for it to present itself, whatever the case may be, you knew from the moment you came in here, you was going to say some shit. Because that's your MO. That's what you do. It's a pattern of behavior. At some point, we got to recognize the patterns and realize the patterns and start making corrections within inside of ourselves to not repeat these patterns. You know? You gotta start repeating these patterns of behavior. It's getting ridiculous. You know? These patterns of behavior. You know? So that's how I'm looking at this. I'm over here to point out, to fight and better give an example of these patterns of behavior, to show people these patterns of behavior. I want people to see these patterns of behavior so they can understand these patterns of behavior. So you won't fall for them over and over again. I want you to see the patterns of behavior so you won't fall for these patterns of behavior. So when you see these patterns of behavior, you can see like, okay, I see it, right? And then you become bigger than the pattern. Become bigger than the pattern, right? It's there. The pattern is there, but you have to see it. You know? You see these patterns of behavior, and then, Right. You know what I'm saying? Recognize the pattern so you could break the pattern of behavior. Exactly. If you recognize the pattern of behavior, then you should be able to break the pattern of behavior. Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't want to break that pattern of behavior. You know what I mean? They don't want to because we're creatures of habit, you know? So we get stuck in that pattern of behavior. You know, you got to break that pattern sometimes. Yes, sometimes, you know, change is different. Yes, you know, sometimes you got to step into a different, you know, whatever, but you got to break that pattern. You know what I mean? Put yourself in the spaces of breaking that pattern, right? Once you realize that you're manifesting your own destiny, once you realize that you're manifesting your own life, you know what I'm saying? You have to break that pattern or want to break that pattern. So if you know that you've been thinking negative and therefore negative shit has always happened for you or whatever, try, you know, thinking positive for a while. And don't think positive until the first negative thing happen and say, see, there you go. That's why I don't think positive. That's why I don't think positive. No, that's not thinking positive. That's you thinking positive, but fucking anticipating or putting intentions on negative for that shit to happen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They need something. They need something. They need better acting class. Maybe Denat should have actually spent that money on acting classes and then came and became a teacher of the art or some shit, and he could have taught them how to perform or something. Because this is all bad acting, bad scripted, bad acting, all of this shit. You know, it repeated, repeated. It's repeated over and over again. Sad but true. You know what I'm saying? This shit is sad but true. All of this shit. Sad but true. The reality of it is even worse. You know? But we here for it. We here, we watching it. Right. Think about them using all this energy that just to do something good, right? If the big three together, then the big three should buy some fucking land or some property and start, you know, housing people or some shit, right? Do something good, better for a community. It don't even have to be your community. Do something better for a community. You know what I'm saying? Put y'all money where the fuck y'all mouth is and go buy a old apartment complex, right? Go buy an old hotel or something and build that shit into something that generates people and give people a place to stay or however y'all want to do it. You know what I mean? You know, do something for all the single pregnant women out there where you buy a hotel and then you let single pregnant women come stay there with, you know, contract agreements, of course, that they can't have nobody else there and can't be there with, you know, whoever, and let them get their life back together and give them like a 3 to 4 year contract where they can go out and build and you know what I mean, get on their feet. You know, do that shit for some pregnant women, some single moms, you know, create a space where people can actually go and feel safe, you know, outside of the system where it ain't application after application and then deny, application after application and then deny. Open up a fucking building where people can, you know what I mean? Who do it for the do something like that for the LGBTIQ, hey, whatever. Do something like that where y'all go buy a hotel room and y'all create a safe space, you know, for, you know, that said community. Or, you know, do it for the single moms or do it for some lost children. Do it for somebody else besides your damn self. Or the next vacation that you want to go on. Put the big three together and do something positive in all this fuckery that y'all creating. You know? People might be more accepting of the fuckery if y'all threw a little bit of positive in that shit every now and again. It can't just be fuckery all the time. Throw some positive in that bitch. You know? Open up a school. You know? Nope, not with these ones. Not with these ones. No level of creativity besides the mess that they already created. That's all you're going to see is more and more mess that they creating. Why? Why? Because that's what they're about. That's what they're about. They're about fuckery. Fuck shit. You know? That's what they're about. So that's what you're going to see. You know? They don't give a fuck. Part 5, part 10, part 21. They don't care. They don't care. They are looking for a forever beef. You know? They got that type of beef with Maggie. This forever beef that they got with Maggie. They got that. So that's what they like that shit. You know what I'm saying? They like that shit. The forever beef that they got, they like that shit. They trying to find more and more people that they can forever beef with. Why? Because they like that shit. You know? But whether they want to say it, whether whoever want to say it, like these are narcissistic entities. Okay?
You like to talk a lot of smack. You spy and lie, you boast, always gotta do the most behind my back. When you're faced with all the facts, you switch right up, you don't remember all of that. Showing off like you're in a pageant, bragging on about your status.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all support however it is y'all support. Hit the cash app, hit the PayPal, send a super chat, send a super sticker, become a member to the page. Do the things that YouTube allow you to do. You know what I'm saying? Show me that I'm growing over here a little bit. Join the Discord. Hit the like button, the thumbs up button.
Let me show you how it's done. I can terrorize you for fun.
I ain't asking you to do a lot. Just show me you're real. Just show me you're real. Show me you're a real person. Don't be afraid. Somebody gonna approach you about you liking the shit over here. You scared? You worried about somebody approaching you because you type something in the comment section because they see you in the comment section? Wait till I start buying subscriptions for my own page. It's gonna start exposing all of y'all that's on the back. I know that. When I start buying my own stuff, it's gonna expose y'all back there. Y'all can hide in the bushes now. But when I start gifting subs, your name's gonna pop up. We gonna see you in here.
Gotta let shit flow, gotta let shit go. Can't dwell on it your whole life. Get back, I don't want your static.
That's why you don't see as many people typing as many people as in here.
I have studied all your habits, but the way you stare at me, you savage. Try to pawn your pain on me, return to sender with that package. Moving on, now it's time for me to work away my magic wand. No more dragging me through the dirt. Teach you right from wrong. Run you like a marathon. Once that truth turns to karma, you're done. Demon be gone.
Demon be gone.
You're a narcissist. Can't hide it when it shows. Tied down by your traumas and now they won't let you go. You're a narcissist. A reaction is your aim. I'll just give it nothing. Watch you lose at your own game. You're a narcissist. It's always your way. It's your lane. Doesn't matter what I try to say. Divine. You want what's mine. Try to bring me down. Try to take me out. But you can't steal my shine. Try to take my soul, try to switch them roles. That destiny swapping, mocking, blocking shit. It's a no-go, all that ego doesn't fit. Only care for the glam, only care for the glitz. Way too grubby, but you wanna give gifts. Indian giver on a power trip. acting like you rich. All the money in the world wouldn't change your attitude. But not if you won't change my point of view on you as you laugh and you flaunt. Take your exit too. You're no match for the highest with authority over you. True. Now back to the money. Say you built the hive, forcing me the honey. Don't wanna be exposed, so you're acting all chummy. No one is around, now you wanna act funny. Bummy, pick a personality, many burn bridges. Friendship fatality, you see it one way. I see duality like calories, burn away them dark principalities. You're a narcissist, can't hide it when it shows. Tied down by your traumas, and now they won't let you go. You're a narcissist, a reaction is your aim. I'll just give you nothing, what you lose at your own game. You're a narcissist, it's always your way, it's your lane. Doesn't matter what I try to say. You want what's mine. Try to bring me down, try to take me out, but you can't steal my shine. You're a narcissist, can't hide it when it shows. Tied down by your traumas, and now they won't let you go. You're a narcissist, a reaction is your aim. I'll just give you nothing, 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 nothing. You're a narcissist, it's always your way, it's your lane. Doesn't matter what I try to say, divine. You want what's mine. Try to bring me down, try to take me out, but you can't steal my shine.
And before they even do it, we might as well do it now, because you know what they're gonna say. Oh, he done made songs about people and so on and so forth, and he done made songs about people. Like, come on, people already know we was making songs over here, so that's the only thing that they're gonna try to say. We did. Cause when everybody was coming at us, we was like, fuck it, we know what to do. Put their ass in a song. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what we did. Magic, we made a song about Magic. We made a song about Lady T. We're not gonna play the song because we try not to play the songs that we made about them. We put songs, stories, like, we're gonna wrap you up in something. A song or story time. Yeah. Wrap that shit up. Y'all know that. Wrap that shit up in a song, wrap that shit up in a story time. Line some shit up in the petty pocket in the Discord. I see more of that to come. I see more of that to come. You know what I'm saying? So that's about to happen. More of that's about to happen. More of that is about to happen. So we good. All that shit's gonna keep on coming. So when they create when they do whatever, y'all know how we coming. Y'all know it's time to Voltron that shit. You know what I'm saying? All that, everybody come back together. You know what I'm saying? Voltron. When the time comes, we'll Voltron that shit. You know what I'm saying? Voltron that shit. If you Voltron that shit, we're gonna put it back together. We putting the sister wives back together, all that shit. I mean, we might have to alter the name a little bit. I don't know about the sister wives thing, that's just something that came about. So we might have to alter the names, but genuinely, that's what we doing. Sister Wives Club, activate. You know, because we already created the merch for it. So we can't take it back. We got blankets, socks, panties, and more shit. We can't take it back. It's already a brand. You know what I'm saying? No, we do so much, like you know what I'm saying. Like we create so much over here. Like I know now, I know beefing with the big three, it might not go right with the Trevor Green, situation as far as the cartoons and shit goes. But you know, I don't really care about beef. I just care about people having, what I'm saying, backup. Fuck that. Like it's so many underdogs out here that they think they can attack and suppress their voice and so on and so forth. We watch them do it with so many people. You know what I'm saying? They tried that shit with us. You know what I mean? Try to suppress our voice, isolate us, make it seem like they was the end all, be all of that shit. Like, nah. You know what I'm saying? That's I think that's what mine is. That's what's triggering me is the fact that, three big content creators trying to sit there and ridicule and bash and do all of this about somebody, and they the ones that played with her feelings and emotions. They got the space. You know what I'm saying? They got the panels that people occupy on, and you know what I'm saying? Those spaces can make or break somebody. You know what I'm saying? You could feel good in those spaces, or they can tear you the fuck down in those spaces. The fact that they got those spaces and all they use it for is to tear other people down, that's the problem. That's the problem right now with our society. Is that these people that have the platforms to make you feel inspired, to make you feel passionate about life, to give you a little bit of, drive, they're using that shit to tear people down and suppress them. Like you know what I'm saying? The universe gave you a great opportunity to mend a group, a collective, whatever you want to call it, and you using it to tear down the black T sector. Why y'all ain't taking that to the YT sector or whatever other fucking sectors is out there? Why y'all ain't taking that same energy to the real enemies? But here in the black T sector, y'all want to fucking keep on bashing and destroying everything in the black T sector, so that way people don't want to be in the black T sector. But then y'all try to make it seem like, oh, the black T sector got boring. The black T sector got this. That's because y'all attacked everybody that tried to get in the sector. What are y'all talking about? You attack and bash everybody that's into the sector. Some people don't even know they in the sector until you motherfuckers start bashing them and shit. You know? That's why we glad we came over here with the support system that we had over on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we already had experience, just based off of messy TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So we already came over here with the notion of the bullshit. You know? That's why we go over and, host the TikTok panels and do the TikTok lives and so on and so forth, because we already know over here, you try to do something over here, they're going to try to make it seem like you stealing they shit. They ain't going to hit you with the, great minds think alike. They're not going to hit you with that. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to hit you with that. They're not going to hit you with the great minds think alike and so on and so forth. They're going to hit you with some negative shit. They're going to hit you with some fuckery shit. Some shit that boosts them, supports them, and tear you down, make you look bad, make you feel bad, all that shit. That's what they gonna do. That's how they gonna do you. Their ego is more important than anything in this space. It's their ego, their pride. Their pride for this space, their ranking in this space, so on and so forth, right? I guess the Hunger Game list is in. This is where you rank at in the Hunger Game. Fuck that. Fuck that Hunger Game. We District 16, whatever district it is that was the unmentioned district. That's our district. Huh? That's our district. We District 16 out this motherfucker, or District 12, whatever district that was that people didn't know, they thought disappeared and shit like that. That's the district we is. Fuck your Hunger Games. We don't care who's mocking Jay, Mockingbird, or mocking you. We don't care. All right? We're creating our own shit over here. How about that? How about we creating our own sector? How about that? How about we creating our own sector and you motherfuckers is not even cast on the island? Huh? It's the lower content creator sector. Huh? How about that? You got to have under 10,000 subscribers in order to qualify for this sector. Once you get past 10, you ain't in this sector no more. How about that? That's the sector we created. A sector where all the lower content creators is accepted. But once you get past 10K, you upgrade it. You go on to the next level. That's the level of support I'm trying to create. That's why I say shit. Let's just build a big Discord and create a wave of supporters. Let's get like 100 people, maybe more, in the Discord. And then every Friday we pick a couple of creators and we create a wave and a field trip, and we just go support and spam the comment section and give them the thumbs up and push them into the algorithm. We could do that. They got all these negative spaces that's doing that same duplication. Why can't we duplicate that shit on a positive level? We can. We could do that. We can create spaces of positivity everywhere. Huh? The same way they duplicate negative and fuckery, we could duplicate positivity. We could do that. Listen, we can create spaces where we watching people count rice. You know what I'm saying? We can create spaces where somebody just go get all the fucked up condiments in your house and just pour them down the drain, and just we'll watch that shit. Anything got to be more. Let's watch paint dry. Let's watch that shit. Anything got to be more than giving your feelings and emotions to these content creators that don't really give a fuck about your feelings or emotions. They only see you when your money pop up. That's the only time they see you, is when your money pop up. They see your money before they see you. Tell me when I say something wrong. You know, that's why our Discord and our family was so different, is because we seen each other, right? I even told everybody in the Discord, it don't matter if I'm using my own money to venture this or whatever. I'm gonna say y'all did it. I told everybody in the Discord before we even started this journey a year and something ago. I said, listen, from here on out, it don't even matter. Now that I see that people are upset about support and whoever supported me, and they're trying to find out who supported me so they can attack y'all. I said, from here on out, I'm blaming everything on y'all. I said that shit in the Discord almost 13, 16 months ago. Because we've been 20 steps ahead. I wanted to show people, look, they're not going to attack me. They're going to attack the supporters. They're going to attack the supporters, you know? And look what happened. They literally came into the Discord. They wanted a list of the sister wives, try to find out the names of the sister wives so they can attack each and every last one of them. Well, I say, fuck it. We make it so big that it's so much work to do that they don't want to do it anymore. Now we get 150 sister wives and husbands or whatever the fuck the title is for the other half, right? We get 100 of them. That way the list so damn long, they like, man, fuck it. We can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's make it so they can't do shit. Let's make it so big they can't do shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? Let's get 75 people in the Discord watching it. They gonna start complaining when they know 15 people is in the Discord watching it, or watching their bullshit from a safe space or not. You know what I'm saying? That's what they gonna do. Hold on, I didn't mean to put that hashtag in. I mean that hash in there. Let me see. Did that hash pop up in there? Hopefully it did. I think that hash might have popped up in the first one. Yeah. For real, they hate to see smaller content creators make it. They hate to see people stand up and stand in their power no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Accept me for all my flaws. Fuck it. They hate to see people being accepted for all their flaws because they hid their flaws. You know what I'm saying? So when they see people standing in their authentic self, their authentic truth, they hate to see that because for so long they hid their self and hid who their truth was, and created these alter egos of their self in order to hide behind, you know. And these characters is nothing more than alter egos that they created of themselves, different personas. It's not their true self. You know what I mean? It's a character that they created. It's almost like having split personality disorders and stuff. You know what I mean? And then they try to become that image that they create so tough of their self that they are in a fight with their self, with inside their self. Their enemy is their inner me. You know what I mean? And that projects itself on the outside. So you'll see them keep on clashing with different people on the outside of them because they're really fighting with something inside their self, whether it be anonymity. They don't like the authenticity. They jealous of the authenticity. How dare you, portray yourself in your authentic self? And I'm out here hiding myself, being the character that everybody wants me to be for the sake of reality. whatever they, how they tell it, you know what I'm saying? How dare you come out and stand in your truth when I've been out here lying about myself for so long, trying to be what it is that everybody wants me to be. Huh? I've been out here trying to be everything that everybody wants me to be. Then fuck myself over so many times already. And you just come out and just stand in your truth like that. How dare you? You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that they, like, get the fuck out of here. Are you jealous about people just trying to be their self and be accepted for their self? No, cause fuck that. I had to go through it rough. They should have to go to it, bro. Like, no, who the fuck? Who is you to determine how somebody get it, or how easy something come for somebody, or happen for somebody, or whatever? That's not what I had to do to get my supporters, huh? I had to have anal tongue tickling matches and like nobody give a fuck about how you came about getting what the fuck you got because somebody else got it differently. Like you got to go through the same training program they went through. No, somebody has to fondle with you or tickle you too, or you better do it to somebody. It's the only way you can get in this game. You have to be fondled. No, motherfucker. There's a no-go zone. Someone have to fondle you in. You know how gangs are jumped in? Well, over here on YouTube, you have to be fondled in. You sick motherfucker, sit down. Shut up. Count me out. Fuck that. I'm Rudolph. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to play in y'all reindeer games. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, we already see it. We know the gaslighting, manipulation, trickery, fuckery, all of that shit. We know it. We see it. A mile away, we see it. You know? That's why I kept on telling people how many steps. We've been 20 steps ahead, 200 steps ahead. We've been way ahead of them this whole time. Right or wrong? We've been ahead of them this whole time. You know? I don't want to join in the reindeer games. We good. You feel me? Don't want to deal in the reindeer games. Don't want to participate. You know? And the winner is the next dummy, the next sucker, the next person that you can manipulate. Because we not getting manipulated over here. All right, as soon as, you know what I'm saying, I knew it. Like, soon as OKP popped up in the comment section, I'm like, OKP's over here? Why is OKP over here? Right? And then OKP say, oh, I'm putting together a panel, I want to invite you, so on and so forth. I'm thinking to myself, it can only be because we was on Maggie's page, and Maggie they don't sit right together, you know what I mean? But we wasn't trying to say shit about OKP over on Maggie's page when Maggie was trying to, get us to say something about OKP when she was showing the calendar or the pictures and stuff and saying, oh, look at OKP. We'll say like, we'll opt out. We don't want to say nothing, right? But, after watching like the whole Messy Monday thing, looking at the playbook and like, damn, you invited me over there. Like, so is that what you planned on doing when I came over there? If I was to come over there for Messy Monday or whatever the case may be, was y'all way of trying to, get me involved in the bullshit so you can turn so this was a ploy. This was a plot. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't about to do it. Shit, that was on my birthday. Why the fuck am I about to come up on my birthday? We had a whole weekend event out here for that weekend. You know what I'm saying? And we was going to just drop everything, come quick, Craig's in trouble type shit. Like we not that thirsty to come sit on your panel or be in your presence or none of that weird ass shit. You try to call me on my birthday, text me on my birthday on Instagram, and get me to come over there for the bullshit. What? Make that make sense. You think we come on us? Huh? The ones who was 20 steps ahead of the bullshit already? Like us? You thought we was about to fall for that? Huh? You know? So before they pump fake, you see? You see that right there? The Lituation Network 420. This is why we know the date so tough. You know what I'm saying? Just inviting you to the panel this afternoon. Huh? I said, I'm just finishing up a camping event, helping all the campers pack up. Thanks for the invite though, right? Cause we wasn't about to fall for that shit. We wasn't about to fall for that shit. The first thing in my mind was like, let's see how this shit plays out. Let's see how this shit plays out. Motherfucker inviting us to a panel on our birth. Like, what? On our birthday? Hell no. Hell no. I'd rather do a panel with Maggie on the 420 birthday than go up and be a part of some messy shit on the 420 birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I'm supposed to be smoking and chilling and some more shit. But I'm gonna come up on your panel for the mess. So I already knew. I already felt like, you know what I'm saying, my spider senses was tingling. As soon as I got the invite, I was like, what? Huh? You putting together a panel of mess? You trying to recruit me as like one of your, panelists? Why? I don't know how that would work. Like, how would that wouldn't work? It wouldn't work. You already know that I'm into it with Danny Robinson. So how would that work? Knowing that, your master or whoever, however title, whatever title she hold to you, it didn't make sense. Does that make sense to y'all? Tell me. Like I would be Yogi the motherfucker. What? Huh? You got me out here. Hey, boo boo. How about those picnic baskets? No, you not about to have me out here looking like I'm not no average bear type shit. And no, no. So I already seen the play. I already seen it. I'm like, hmm. This doesn't even play out right for a person who's, you know what I'm saying, into it with somebody to tell me that you want me to be one of your panelists for a messy what? What? And I'm supposed to think that's about to go well? I know clearly that's not about to go well. You know? Clearly I know that's not about to go well. Right? So, however we looking at this is for sure one of those situations where, you know, one understands already. Like, that's why we was like, nah. Nah, appreciate your offer, but no thanks. That don't sound right. That's not going to be good. And that is an open invitation for what? You go into the den of your enemy, right? Why would I go into the den of my enemy like that? Huh? That's like an extended den of the enemy. You know what I mean? But he try to, they'll bait you in with somebody else, kind of like the Knot did with Sherelle World, you know what I'm saying, and Perry, Sherelle and Perry, to try to, dangle a higher platform in front of me, hoping that I would take the bait and come up because I see somebody from a bigger platform. Oh shit, that's somebody from a bigger platform. I can go be in the presence of the fuck y'all presence. Like, we don't care about, you know what I'm saying? We too busy trying to be present in order to care about y'all presence. Like, you know what I mean? We trying to live in real time. You know? We ain't trying to go back and operate the bullshit y'all operating. We ain't trying to back it up and operate the bullshit that y'all trying to manipulate. We good. We good on that. Huh? No, I get that. I get that. You know what I'm saying? We get that, but we rather be, that in the spaces that actually celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate me for my funniness and refreshing and all of that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call it, but you ain't gonna put me in a manipulative, huh? You ain't gonna put me in a manipulative. You know what I'm saying?
You must be blocking love is love. So what's your chat made of? You must be blocking love is love. So what's your
Listen,
chat
that one thing you
made
ain't gonna do is manipulative us. You ain't gonna flip my dip or manipulative us.
Yeah, well, you the only one to blame. Tell the crow she won't be twerking. All the lies you told ain't working. In your chat, them swords be lurking. Ready to chop, chop, chop your Birkin. We can see you playing lambs, but you built your shit.
Oh man, damn, that shit. I forgot. We gotta change that shit. I forgot. We gotta make some new hits. We gotta make some new hits for these characters. Don't even trip. We're gonna come out with a whole new album. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna come out with a whole new mixtape for this one. This one, we go. Yeah, listen, we gotta put like, you know what I'm saying, the best mix for this shit together. You know what I mean? We gotta put the best mix for this shit. We gotta pull a Drake on this shit. We gotta put 3 albums together. You know what I'm saying? We gotta put three, like, you know what I'm saying? Him, her, and his. Like, we gotta put 3 different albums together for this one. We gotta Iceman this shit. You know? We gotta put the team together and put 3 different albums out behind this one. This the one right here. This shit about to shake everything. This shit about to shake everything loose. We gotta put you know what I'm saying? For real. Do y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me? I joking about the sister wives thing. Even the sister wives knew that the whole sister wives thing was a joke. Everybody knew except for the people that went around to try to portray this shit. We all knew we was like it was something that came up in the Discord and was made up in the Discord. You know what I mean? But you in it now, shit. You in it now. If you in the Discord, your ass a sister wife now. No take backs. No take backs. Nah, no take backs. Once you in it, your ass is in it. No take backs. You know, you a sister wife now. Fuck it. Own that shit. Stand in that shit. It's over. No matter how you want to look at it, they're gonna paint it the way they want to paint it, regardless. So just fucking stand in it. That's what we was telling everybody in the Discord the first time when it came about in the Discord. I was like, look, I'm trying to get people, I'm trying to get guys over here and something like that, so it could be a mixed crowd over here. But the first they're gonna say is, what is he starting some sister wives club? He's got all them women over there in his Discord, so on and so forth. I was like, so the best thing we could do is just own that shit now. And then everybody was like, yeah, let's just say we're the Sister Wives Club, blah, 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 blah. And then we did it, and motherfuckers was like, he's starting some type of Sister Wives Club. And I was like, see, I told y'all. And that's what we laughed about it in the Discord. We all knew what it was. That's what made it so funny. That's why we laughed about it so much. That's why we came out. That's how the brand started. And we was like, fuck it, let's come out with some clothes and blankets and you know what I'm saying? Let's socks and candles and all of that shit. Let's do it. You know what I mean? And then we just put it out on Printiful. Like, yeah, everybody go get some candles or you know what I mean, some sister wives blankets. Can y'all hear me? Kick me out my own shit. Can y'all hear me now? Oh, okay. Yeah, kick me out my own shit. You know, that's what made us so much advanced on the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's what made us so much advanced on the bullshit was because of that variation of things. It was like we was ahead of all of the dumb shit, ahead of the bullshit. So we was able to laugh about it even more because we already had looked at it prior to in the Discord and already knew like, okay, so this is the pattern that they're going to take. This is the truth, you know what I'm saying? Or this is the, variation of whatever that they're going to accept. And this is the bullshit they're going to manipulate. And this is, so we always been studying or analyzing the patterns, you know what I'm saying? You know? And then they thought that they can like tease you with bigger pages like, ooh, look, dangle this in your face like, ooh, yeah, get him away from this person or get that person away from that person, you know what I mean? Because the whole thing is to isolate. They have to divide in order to conquer, you know what I mean? They try to stay unified in whatever legion they are part of, but they try to divide other people so they can conquer them. Does that make sense? So there's nothing new under the sun. They repeat the same shit over and over again once you realize the patterns. You can look at these patterns and go back in the history of man and see these patterns have repeated itself throughout the history, going all the way back to the Sumerians, going all the way back to what, Socrates and them said about the Atlantis cataclysm, going back to the first century, before the century of Christ, going back, no matter where you study this in history, the same thing repeats itself. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember who you like. So many people was doing different tactics at that time. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just block everybody. Start new, different. Because I didn't know who was a part of the game, who wasn't, who was being genuine, who was being disgenuine. This is one of the games that people play on your mind psychologically. You know what I mean? Like people will make you doubt your own truth, doubt your own eyes, what you heard. You know what I mean? Like it all started back when people used to be saying to each other, like, take it however you want to take it. You remember that era? When people were saying and doing shit that they were like, take it however you want to take it, you know? But when you really think about that, it's like, why you want to live by that mindset when you know how I'm taking it is already bad? Like, if you know how I'm taking it is already bad, why would you tell me to take it however I want to take it? You already know I'm taking it bad. That's why I'm asking you. That's why we're having this conversation, so you can clarify, verify how it is that you meant it, so I won't be in my feelings about how I'm taking it. But when a motherfucker say take it how you want to take it, that means they don't care or value the feelings that is putting you in, right? So like you have this notion of direction when all of this takes place. It's how people show whether they care, whether whatever about you, right? People show this in real life. In real life, you can see and see these entities for themselves, right? Like me, when you're around me, it can be very calming, right? Controlling a different area or a frequency of the area, right? I want you to think about this like Twilight, right? Think about Twilight, the last one of Twilight, when Bella found out that she can expand her consciousness out to protect people around her, that she can protect the minds of the people around her from being attacked by psychological games or whatever that y'all know the story. Yeah, Breaking Dawn. Breaking Dawn. That book. I read that book. Never mind. Anyway, so, but think of it like that. Like when you have the ability to protect the psychological and mental of your collective or the collective, whatever you want to say, because we're all connected to the creative source, whatever you want to call it, whatever title you give it, the universe, the God, the whatever. We're all connected consciously. You might not know that you're connected. You might, you might know you're connected. You might not know you're connected, right? Some people get trapped in the astral plane, but that's a story for another time, right? Whatever you want to call it. So however you're looking at this, right, things are taking place right now, right? And the things that's taking place right now, right, a lot of people might not want to accept, might not want to believe, might not want to, they might be in that mindset of like, man, fuck this or fuck that or whatever the case may be, right? But when you're looking at this, however you're looking at this, if you're looking at this, right, one has to come to some realization of notion to say like, hey, maybe, just maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Just maybe I'm approaching this wrong. Just maybe I'm, you know what I mean? Because everybody's not right. But when you don't even question how you're going about something, you got to think about these characters. They don't even question how they're approaching something, going about something. There's no lesson to be learned in nothing that they're doing because their cup is already full. They're not open to learn a lesson about none of that. You know what I mean? They're not open to take your advice. They're not open to, they know what they know and that's all they know. It's like the person that graduated high school that feel like they learned everything in high school that they need to know, so it wasn't no need for higher education. You know what I mean? Wasn't no need for higher learning because they knew everything that they needed to know coming out of high school, right? So you're dealing with people just like that. They already know everything that they think they need to know because they got wherever they got. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get here from taking people advice that got lower numbers than myself. I didn't get here from listening to people that would that's how their mindset already is. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at this, it's not like, you know what I mean? We know that they had to fight for their space, throughout their time, especially like the ones that are 30s, something like that, you know what I'm saying? Growing up 17 years ago, however long ago, 20 years ago, right? They had to fight for that, you know what I'm saying? They always had to fight. It's the house of ego that they had to be built in and live in, is the ego and pride. So you're looking at people that are in their pride and their ego. They had to build the houses of pride and ego in order to be in the spaces, in the environments, in order to make it out of the environments, because of their preference of life or whatever. Think back, why we have hate crime, why we have these things is because, this was happening in the society. So their collective is already built on hate because hate begots hate, wicked begots wicked. They didn't come about in a loving energy. They had to fight for the space for that 1%. You get what I'm saying? Is that so it's the pride that they live in. It's not nothing like, that's why I say you got to look at the patterns. The character that they build is nothing based off the patterns of the human behavior that they have succumbed to. And we are nothing but creatures of habits. So once you create habits, those are the tails. Those are what exists. It will always exist and still until we change it. Their house is already built. They already built whatever idea of heaven or hell for themselves. They're just trying to make other people live in the heaven or hell that they built for themselves. They built the heaven and hells for themselves. They're just trying to force us to live in it. I don't want to live in the heaven or hell that you built. I'm good. I don't want to live in it. You know what I'm saying? That's what people get upset about. you know And then, like, a lot of people can't live in their authentic or stand in their authentic self. And that's cool. But you can't go around trying to deny other people from their authenticity and think that like, no, just because you afraid to live in your authentic self doesn't mean that I gotta live in the authenticity that you want to portray for me. No, that's not how that works. Acceptance of all things, you know, acceptance of all things. Sometimes you got to be acceptance of all things, you know. So now with that new notion in mind, we got to accept the fact that we in the black tea sector or whatever sector they put us in, guys. We are a part of this sector. It doesn't mean we still can't put the knowledge and shit out there. It doesn't mean we still can't talk about it. We just got to intertwine that shit into the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But now that we have come to accept the light and the dark that comes with the vessel, now that we have accepted this, let's do it. We might as well be with the shit. Fuck it. We with the shit. We standing in our own right, in our own light, in our own image, and we with the shit. And we gonna hit y'all with moon stars and quasars and shit that came from so far you gonna think it was a Milky Way star. That's what the fuck we about to do. We about to flip my dip the manipulatippers once again. Is y'all ready for it? Is y'all ready for it? I know y'all ready for it. We've been itching for this. We about to flip my dip the manipulatippers once again. Is y'all ready for it? It's just a play with words. Remember, thy tongue is thy sword. You know what I'm saying? It's just a play with words. Thy tongue is thy sword. So let's see how, you know what I'm saying? Let's see how people can pose their self, and let's let's go to war with this. You know, let's go to war with this. If this is the concept of what they want to make allow us to stay, we could stand in this this shit right here, nigga. This shit right here, nigga. This shit right here, nigga. Like, we good. You know what I'm saying? Put us in the paint. We gonna stand out like Kobe. Shaq from 3? Nah, you ain't know me. Say that. You know what I'm saying? If you already dealt with shapeshifters, if you already dealt with entities, shit, we're gonna show them how light beings are with. Shit, we already been through the darkness. We already dealt with the darkest version of ourselves. I'm pretty sure we good. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure collectively we good. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't really worried about whatever pressure might come our way. We already put our truth out there. We already talked and spoke our truth. You know what I mean? And we moving in our truth in the real world. You know what I'm saying? So whatever they can come out with, whatever they can, fester up, whatever they can put together, that shit ain't nothing. In fact, let the stories fly. Let the stories fly. Huh? Let the stories fly. I bet you one thing. You ain't gonna find no long motherfucking rap sheet. Huh? They gonna pull my shit up. My shit gonna be on one page and one page only. You ain't gonna get. I can't. I don't know. The details might be, you know, but they ain't gonna pull up too much. You ain't gonna pull up no domestic violences. You ain't gonna pull up no shit where I did something to a woman or a kid or no shit like that. You ain't gonna pull up none of that shit in my peppers, huh? If we have a paperwork party, come on, everybody, come out with your authentic names. Don't come out with no bullshit name. We can't look up no motherfucking, SWD or whatever, SDW, whatever you want to, Dark Knights, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know me. You know what I'm saying? I know me. You know, you ain't gonna put shit on me that's not me. I ain't afraid to stand in that. A lot of y'all motherfuckers are afraid to stand in y'all light. That's why y'all mad at people that's not afraid to stand in their truth and their authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all scared to stand in y'all shit. Y'all scared to be the best that y'all can be. You know what I'm saying? You gotta Gillette that shit. Gillette that shit go. You know what I'm saying? The best a man can get. Gillette that shit go. You know? But they can't do that. You know, that's why they harvesting what they harvesting. You know, they mad at Maggie's growth. They mad at Maggie's ability. You know, Maggie's so good at what she do, she'll make wrong look right. Cause she'll put her feelings and emotions into it. A motherfucker be looking at that and be like, she's telling the truth. She put it together. Look at how many people Maggie made believe Jaguar was telling the truth until she realized Jaguar was lying. She was over that motherfucker swinging at everything coming Jaguar way. You know what I'm saying? Changing up every narrative, putting the title, was Jaguar this and was Jaguar right? And the whole time she creating a diversion and spending the shit. Jaguar was in jail during the time of the incident. Jaguar would come up, yes, Maggie, that's absolutely right. I was in jail during the time of the incident. Thank you, Maggie, for get the fuck, shut the fuck, sit the fuck. Y'all remember the shit. I was going over there. Wolf Kutcher thought he had the technology on lock. I know. I'll create other pages and I'll get other people to say the same narrative. Yeah. You ain't doing shit but repeating the energy that already exists, ninja. Like Ray J and them is already doing that. What the fuck you think he doing with the whole, you know, girls club and agency shit? They already got the internet on smash. You don't see it? They on TikTok, they on YouTube, they everywhere. They clip farming their content and all of that shit. You ain't got no clip farmers yet. You ain't that technician, nigga. You got to do better. Huh? When you get some people working up under you and they clip farming shit, you know, Jag might have a little bit of people clip farming her shit, but they got to treat that shit like a day job. They got to clip farm, they got to sign on to a contract. They got to post 10 videos of your shit a day. That's the type of contract. You know what I'm saying? If you get 30 mods and they clip farming your shit, putting you in the algorithm, so on and so forth, you're going to get out there faster. You know what I mean? So it's going to be better. But if you ain't putting together, especially on social media, if you ain't willing to put together that type of group that's willing to, that they got to be willing to put the time in. Like you can pay some of them or whatever the case may be, but the people gonna bring you whatever they gonna bring you. Some people gonna be willing to bring you. Like think about it, man. Listen, we need everybody that we can get. We need all hands on deck. Let's put together 3 albums right now to talk shit about the bullshit that's going over here. You know what I'm saying? Let's put together a whole new stories, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Petty Pocket 2 in the Discord. Y'all go ahead and start posting the shit in the Discord so we can bring that to the table too when we, you know what I'm saying? All of that shit. Let's open the doors back up. They want to see who wants to play. Let's play. Let's play. Player 2 enter the game. Everybody pick up a controller. Add your part. Do what the fuck you supposed to do. Fuck it. Let's mess together. Now that you know it's all entertainment, why can't we all be entertained? Huh? Why can't we all join in and be entertained in the bullshit? Huh? Just join the Discord. We just gonna bring the shit. How we bring the shit? Put whatever up in there. We making cartoons, little skits, mini skits, poems, quotes, raps, cats, more shit. Huh? Bring the best of the best. Put it together with the mess. You know? Bring the best of the best. Put it together with the mess. We tried the friend route. We tried the whole we can all get along. Now we just got to point out the examples of the shit that don't get along. You know what I'm saying? It's been a whole year over here, us trying to, sit with understanding and, peace. We did that. We doing that. We still doing that. But now it's time for us to laugh and point this shit out. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna do our, lives about knowledge and wisdom, chakra systems, understanding, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Moon stars, quasars, 88 constellations of the sky, Zachariah stitchings, all of that shit. We still gonna do that. I love doing that. I it's stuck in my head. I can't do nothing but that. But in the meantime, in between time, we gonna point out the fuckery. We're gonna point out the fuckery and we're gonna break that down. And we're gonna break down why. What makes these YouTuber content creators tick and why they act the way the fuck they act towards supporters and others when they probably once was in a situation, worse than what they are in. Half of them are hobos or came off of living on the streets and act like they don't know what a hard knock like was. And now they acting like they came in with a fucking silver spoon in their mouth already. And I just want to see why. Why? So now I want to see what makes them tick. I want a Threes Company this shit. And I want them to come and knock on my door. I want to see. I want to understand this. What gives y'all the right to keep going around fucking with people? I want to see. Hurt people, and I want to see why the fuck they hurting people. You know what I mean? We want inquiring minds want to know. We want to know why. We'll take on a little bit of that. We'll take on a little bit of that for Lady T. We'll do it for anybody. We did it for Lady Letitia. We did it for Bonnie. We did it for Amber. We did it for Golden. So why not do it now? We're going to stay in our authentic self. We're going to continue to speak up for shit that's right and get the fuck out the way when it's a little bit fixed. You know what I mean? So this ain't no difference. This ain't no difference than any other situation that we've been in. So we're going to stand in there and take a couple of these motherfucking licks since they throwing them out so tough. Part 5. Danny Robinson's on part 5. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, the 10-part special. Huh? It's a dirt ball fight. Y'all get y'all dirt. This is a dirt ball fight. We are in a dirt ball fight with the top 3. Of course, they're going to try to bring up, background and backup checks and all of this weird shit. They're going to do that. They're going to build the story off of that. They're going to try to show your this. They're going to, what? Yeah. Yeah, this just one of those situations where you just got to throw a couple of rocks to show a motherfucker, hey, you know what I'm saying? You ain't, a motherfucker ain't even got to know we throwing the rocks. We don't care that you know, whether you don't know, whether you know we throwing rocks for you, with you, whatever. We don't give a fuck how you paint it, how you look at it. A rock need to be thrown at this time. You got three people trying to jump on somebody. Nah, fuck that. Y'all couldn't even do a 1v1. Nah, fuck that. A rock need to be thrown. Let me pick up one. If you ain't picking up one, you scared. That's because you scared. Ain't nobody scared of this same motherfucking. We ain't in Davy Joe's locker in the middle of the sea. Nobody worried about Sandlot, who ball one over the fence. We ain't kids no more. We is not kids no more. Right is right and wrong is wrong. They still want to run around like that whole fucking high school, who runs the school type shit. Grown as fuck, talking about something, yeah, and we the ones that da 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 da. You motherfuckers is not the popular group. Fuck y'all trying to run around like mean girls and shit? Huh? They're trying to run around like mean girls and shit. And we the top 3 sassiest over here. Huh? Open up the doors for us because we the sassiest in all of this. And we wish somebody would try to tell us that we not. Motherfucker, you still trying to find yourself? You still trying to find out who you is? You still running around this motherfucker trying to build yourself with shit? This is not a build a nigga workshop. This is not build a bear network. This is, you don't know yourself by now? Still looking for validation and classification based off of who the fuck you is and was and how y'all came about, and it wouldn't be this without that and that without this and nothing without us. And shut the fuck up. Shut up. We don't get, at this point, we don't give a fuck anymore. We don't give, at this point, this 2026, we don't give a fuck about how this sector came about, the history of who you motherfuckers is, or none of that shit. How about that? Now I gotta go do some shit and do some work, but when I come back, we on it some more. Huh? When I come back, we on it some more.
Then the shit. Duke, then the shit. Duke, then the shit. Duke, then the shit. No benefit. Fucking with a real one, yeah, you should quit. If a nigga run his mouth on my
love is love, namaste, I say salutations, salam, peace. If nobody told y'all that they love y'all today, let me be the first but not the last to tell y'all that I love y'all. Right? Remember, one's image of oneself should be greater than reality. And if you ain't hit the Discord and ain't joined the Discord, here's another opportunity for you to join the Discord or be a part of the Discord. Right? Greater things, right? Greater things is happening. All right.
Sledging up and fueling up, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Nigga can't square it up, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. The whole crew gon' tear it up, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Nigga don't clear your throat, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Fucking with the real go, the one you shouldn't fuck with. If a nigga run his mouth, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Run up in the nigga house, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Better choose a different route, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Duke, then the shit. If a nigga run his mouth, I'm on my Duke, then the shit. Run up in the nigga house, I'm on my Duke, then the shit.